Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB or Chris, and today we're experimenting with some light here at home because the shaves at the beach, the lighting was tremendous. So let me know below if you like this lighting better. You're going to see some shadows in the back because I have more lighting, but you can also see the growth better. So that will be helpful, I think. And today we're going to do something interesting. We're going to use Reef Point, Earl Grey, and Ginger, which is a great soap. I wish Reef Point still made soaps, but it's lost almost all of its scent. It has almost no scent. And so while I was gone at the beach, I saw Doug Bear from the Barely Normal Shaver try one of his unconventional methods of enhancing soap scents. And so we're going to do that. So I've already loaded the brush, but Doug put like a sample in a separate container, and then he fills the cap partially with water, which I'm going to do now. Just a little bit, not too much. We'll pour it in, and then we're going to shake this up and make the froth. We call this the Doug Bear Shake and Bake. And essentially you just keep shaking until you don't really hear the water moving around, and it'll create a froth. At least that's what Doug calls it. But he did something very interesting in terms of scent, and I had to try it. So Doug, we'll see how this works. I'm probably not going to do it exactly like Doug did, but I always like watching people who are newer to making videos because they have interesting ideas. Now, Doug's probably been wet shaving in a traditional way for a long time, but he's got some interesting ideas. So he received a froth right there. Well, it's hard to see. Again, more light doesn't necessarily mean it's easier to see things. But anyway, he added some splash to his froth water, which we're going to do. I don't know how much to add, but I'm going to add a couple of splashes there. This stuff smells great, by the way. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and, well, let's wet the face with the mister. It's been a while since I've used the mister. And by the way, I will be trying to catch videos, as many as I can. I probably won't be able to catch up on all the ones that were shot, but I'll do the best I can. So I'm going to also use some of this froth water and see how things go. I'm going to use a straight razor today. This will be straight razor shave number 27, I want to say. Oh yeah, this really does enhance the scent. And as Doug said, it didn't really affect his lather at all. I mean, what a simple thing that I never heard anybody mention or think of. And it's quite remarkable because now I'm enjoying this great Earl Grey and Ginger scent, which is terrific. Phenomenal, in my view. By the way, I have a bump right there, so if I cut it, I'm not counting it. But anyway, let me know what you think about the lights. And if you prefer this or the old way, you can compare it to an older video I've shot here. I'm probably going to have to do some more experimentation. I need to get them up higher. Right now, they're sort of beside me. It's not really easy to add lights in here. Okay, that is plenty good enough on the lather. Boy, I can really, I'm really getting that great scent now that I've added the splash to the soap. What an interesting idea. I would have never thought of it, to be honest. So we're going to use the Double Duck Satinedge razor today, vintage razor, which I've gotten some pretty good shaves from thus far. And this also Doug taught me. And I've been doing videos for a long time and have been traditional shaving for a long time. Don't ever think you can't learn anything. There are so many people you can learn from, and I still learn things every day. So Doug, I was saying sometimes I have trouble seeing where I'm putting the razor. And Doug was like, well, put it to your face and then rotate it in. And that has worked beautifully for me. So thank you very much, Doug. Very nice, very nice. I think this razor is getting towards the end of its life in terms of the hone. I got this off eBay, and it was okay at first, but I'm starting to feel it pull some now. So I think I may have to send this one to the stallion for some honing, which is no problem. It's Needs to be touched up a little bit. Very nice. And I tell you, when I can really feel when a razor is starting to tug is on the neck. It's not too bad on the cheeks, but when you get down to the neck and it starts tugging, you can really feel it. So I can definitely feel a little bit of tugging in this razor. So we'll send it off to the stallion for some honing soon. See if we can avoid cutting this bump, which may be kind of difficult with this razor, but we'll do our best. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. Well, had a great weekend. By the time this airs, it'll be Monday morning. So I hope that each and every one of you will have had an outstanding weekend. I'm obviously back from the beach, terrible weather, but I did enjoy spending time with family. That was a lot of fun. The weather was just terrible. When we got back here, it was, 80 degrees and sunny, and I was like, wow, it's very bright outside today, so I got to get out and cut the grass and put things away and so on. Everything down in the Outer Banks was wet. It was rained or it was cool. The first few days, very, very cool. And then when it did warm up, it started raining. So it's like, oh, well, it's just one of those times, and we're going to get that bump. I know it. There's no way around it, but we will not worry about it. Again, this edge, slightly tuggy, so it could use some touching up. I did strop it. I strop between, I strop before and after. So after the shave, part of my post-shave routine with straight razors is to take them and strop them, starting with linen to sort of, dry it. Well, first I dry it off with a cloth or tissue, getting any, potential moisture out of the scales. And then I'll take it to the linen, and then I'll also strop it on leather. And then I use frog lube. You don't have to. You can use mineral oil or whatever you like, or nothing if you don't need to. It's up to you. But my routine is I apply a little bit of frog lube to it after it's been stropped. And when I get it out for the next shave, I'll wipe the frog lube down and then strop it prior to the shave. So I strop it twice, after every shave and before. Let's get some of this froth water here so we can, boy, I tell you what, that's really an ingenious thing to do to add scent. I would have never thought of it. And this is the benefit of having an open mind and listening, to what other people have to say. And just because he hasn't been making videos for long doesn't mean he doesn't have a great deal of experience and a new way of doing things. I tell you right now, there's a lot of light on this side, but not enough on that. So I'm going to have to experiment and get lights on both sides. Ideally, I'd get them overhead. So we'll figure something out and get better on the lighting. Let's see how we do here. Kind of hard to stretch. Pulling my ear doesn't really stretch that much for me. It does for some people. I just prefer to sort of inflate my cheeks a little bit just to make it a little more firm. And that's sort of the way I do it. There's really no right or wrong way, just the way that results in a shave that's good for you. So do whatever you like. Take long strokes, short strokes, whatever works. Shallow angle, steep angle. All what you prefer. If it works for you, go for it. That's what I say. Whoops, I just completely bumped my camera there. Glad I didn't do that with the blade. Sorry about that. There we go. And I've gotten some questions about straight razor shaving and learning curve. So there's a couple of ways to approach it in my view. Again, as someone who's learning, you can start whole hog like I did, trying to shave your entire face, or you can just start with the cheeks, and that's what I would recommend if you're completely new, have never straight razor shaved. I would start by just doing your cheeks, the downward stroke, and leave it at that. And once you develop some dexterity and confidence, move on a little bit. That's the way I would do it. You see, we got the bump there. Ooh. I'm gonna put my finger on it to. I tell you what, this blade, it just really needs a hone. There's just no question about it. So what I'm gonna do is dry this off. I'm gonna run in and get my designated rescue blade, the gold dollar, and we will finish this shave up with this, because this one is just ready to be honed. That's just all there is to it. It was good for a few shaves, but not really good enough to finish this one on the neck. I can just feel it. It's too tuggy. There's no need to keep pressing on with something that needs work. Be flexible, be willing to switch it out. Stand by. Okay, so we went and got our rescue blade. I'm just gonna reapply some moisture there. The old trusty Stallion honed gold dollar 200. And we'll finish up with it. Really trying to work around that bump is a little bit of a pain, but we'll do what we can. There we go. Feels better, sounds better, is better. Very inexpensive razor, gold dollars, but they do need to be honed properly. That is the key, in my opinion. All right, let's rinse that off. I must say, I'm pretty impressed with this Dubl Shake and Bake with Drizzle, I'm gonna call it. Giving some life to this old soap that was basically shot in terms of scent. You know, it still performs just fine, but the scent was almost entirely gone, and we've used a little splash in here and it smells great. Excellent tip, Dubl. The Barely Normal shaver. Check him out. And you'll notice we've been trying to pick up the pace of these videos a little bit, keep them a little bit shorter, because I realize there are so many people producing videos, which I think is great. Like Zach from Zach Likes to Shave has mentioned, he feels that this is sort of the second wave of resurgence of traditional shaving, and especially on YouTube. And I agree. Got a lot of new people, and we're encouraging everybody come on in. I don't look at this as a competition. I never have. Everyone is welcome. Everyone who's doing things in a positive way and not crapping on people and things, that is. Now, if you're one of those guys that's you're just going to come in and complain and crap on the gear that people use, then don't, because nobody wants that. But if you're going to come in and enjoy your gear and contribute positively to the community, you are definitely most welcome. All right, let's start on this this time. Whoops. At 27 shaves, I'm just getting comfortable, really. So a lot of people say 30 shaves and you have it. I would agree that your level of comfort will have increased. You will be better than when you started, but you won't be a master. Make no mistake about that. you'll definitely be able to most likely complete your shave and do a good job with your shave. Don't expect to be a master at 30. You might be. I am most definitely not. Trying to avoid that bump there. We did get it, but we're not at all concerned about it because we knew that was likely to happen. See, there's a sort of a sweet spot with lighting because as you can see, there's more light, but it also makes it hard to see too if you get too much. So I really got to do some experimentation. But if you think it's better than before, let me know. And what we can do here is let's turn it off and show you the difference. Let's turn that off. So here's what it was before. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's better this way or with the additional light? Let's turn one on and see how it works. Here's with one light. That one might actually be a little bit better. Need something over here though. I think it would be best if I split it. Here's two. If I can get it turned on. So there's two. Do you prefer one, two, or none? Let me know. We did get that bump, which was expected. We'll do a little bit. All right, there we have it. The gold dollar comes in and rescues yet another shave. I need to get that double duck honed, and we will do that. Okay, let me rinse the face. We'll come back and get into the pose. Stay tuned. And we are back with the precious, the Lancaster tail. By the way, when I was down at the Outer Banks, Andre from Lancaster was also down there, and he did kindly reach out to meet up, but because of the corona and my mother-in-law has latter stage cancer, we really didn't venture out or interface with other people because it's just too high risk. So thank you very much, Andre, if you happen to watch this. I love your towels, and I missed it when I was traveling. I forgot it and didn't take it with me. Okay, let's get on with our witch hazel, which we are back to using what I really love, the magic made by witches, theirs. And we've got it in a misting bottle, which I just prefer this method of application. Oh yeah, that scent is so much better. That scent is so much better than the Humphreys cucumber melon. Oh yeah, great stuff. You just can't beat it. And we shall finish off today with the Reef Point Earl Grey and ginger in just a moment. But I gotta say, if you have a soap that's lost most of its scent and you happen to have a splash, definitely try this Doug Baker Shake and Bake with Drizzle, I'm calling it. The Drizzle being the splash. We just added it to our froth and it brought that soap back to life. And it's allowed me to enjoy a soap that I used to really enjoy, but I don't enjoy using now because it has no scent. But thanks to the splash, what a brilliant idea. Thanks so much, Doug, for making that video. Let's go ahead and finish it off with a little of this splash. There we go. Oh yeah. So nice and fresh. This is a fantastic scent. I hope, Eric, if you're watching, you'll make this again. And actually, a lot of your stuff was phenomenal. I hope you'll make soaps and splashes again today. This one in particular is stellar. Earl Grey and ginger. Easy for you to say. Thanks, everybody, for watching. It's good to be back. I will slowly get back in the swing of things. It's wonderful to be back here. I'm going to continue to experiment with the light, but please comment below on how you felt this lighting was relative to the old. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, I want to remind you, it's your shave, do it your way, and God bless.